Hi, you guys. I'll be right there with you. Just hold on for 1 minute. I'm still like kind of running behind, as you can tell. Happy Sunday, everyone. All right. How are you guys? How is everybody? Hi, Jen Marie. Hi, Rebecca. Yay. I think me putting like the little short up, letting you guys know that I'm going live, it definitely helps. So that's good. Happy Sunday, everybody. I tried to go a little bit earlier because it'll be just 8 o'clock on the East Coast. And we have a mini haul. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Deanna. And then, of course, you guys know how we do it. We wait 5 minutes, let people come and join the chat, and then we'll get started. So let me put you guys down. Hi, how are you? Hi, Melanie. Let me put you guys down a little bit. All right, that's much, much better. All right, Rhonda. Hi, Chris. Thank you. All right, you guys. We have 119 and 30 thumbs up. You know how we do it. Okay. 7 p.m. in Texas. Yeah, I tried to get on early, so it's 5 o'clock here. Hi, Christy B. Donna, you look different. So different tonight. Must be good though. Do I look different really? Um, mm, I think it's because okay, I didn't have a lot of time to do my hair, so I didn't straighten it, so I just let it curl naturally. That could be it. I don't know. Hi, Kayla. Hi, Joan. Happy Sunday to everybody. Just I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. It's been a weird week. It's been a really, really weird week. And um just strange, like just a weird week, kind of like a weird vibe. I mean, I really had a good time the last time we went live. That was a lot of fun, like just hanging out with you guys and talking. Um and yeah, but other than that, it's just been odd. I need to drink more water, by the way. Mm, you'll still look amazing in heels. Who's wearing heels? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just usually I straighten my hair, but if I don't straighten my hair, it's this type of like texture, and I was just like, you know what? We'll just let it. I was letting it air dry. I'll tell you a funny story. All right, so in the short, you'll see I'm wearing fake eyelashes, and right after I posted the short, Caroline calls me and she's like, "I tell you this with love. Take off the lashes," and I was like, "Fine." um, because sometimes like I forget to put on false eyelashes, but these like were really too this one was not lifting, and if you work with lashes, like sometimes it's hard to get one to lift, and it didn't want to lift, and so I was like, I kind of looked like I got punched in the eye, and so I just took them off, and so I do have like eye makeup, and excuse me, and thank you. And so the eyelashes were really, really thick, and I should have trimmed them down. But yeah, it takes me a very long time to do my makeup, even though like I don't look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup because for some reason in the lives I come out looking washed out. So I had to put on like a ton of blush. I mean, if you saw me like in real life right now, I would look like, like I'm ready to hit the pole. Um, but on camera, it doesn't pick up. Like I look washed out. So I don't know if that makes sense. Um, you know what? We're gonna talk about that too. There's like so much to talk about. There really is. All right, you guys, we're at 203. We got 61 thumbs up. We got to do better. Um, because we want to get this out because I came on really, really short notice, and that's my fault. It took me like I don't know what time I got out of the shower, but I think I spent like 3 hours doing makeup. Um, yeah, I really have to speed up my time on the makeup. Um, so, hi, Felix. Um, let's get up to 100. We're at, what am I up to? Is that two? So we're up to 225. Hi, Kelly. Madeline. Thank you. Thank you, Madeline. Am I saying it right? I hope I am. Thank you. If I pronounce anyone's name wrong, please let me know. Um, all right, are we past 5 minutes? Yeah, we are past 5 minutes. Okay. So some stuff I wanted to talk about was I just beginning like I said, it was like a really bizarre week. And okay. So I guess like I don't know what it is about people just wanting to crap on people's parades, basically. Um, last time I was on here, I mean, I'm happy right now. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think people like seeing other people happy, and I think that's very, very sad. I think it's something that has to do a lot with social media. I think social media has brought that out a lot more. More people are very, very more vocal because they can hide behind their keyboards and just write insane things. And so, you know, I feel like a grandma saying this, but when I was growing up, we didn't have. I mean, of course, we had computers. Okay, I wasn't born with Fred Flintstone, but it's just not the same, And I guess me being happy and my life changing for the better, it's like rubbing people along. Like it's rubbing people the wrong way for whatever reasons. And that's why I say this week has been really, really interesting because I do get like a lot of stupid comments in our comment section. Okay, which like I'm used to. Like, you know, and we all know what the lives are like. So we've all seen what they have to say in the lives, and it's pretty repetitive and unoriginal and very boring. Um, but on my Instagram, I have it set to where if you want to say something, you literally have to you have to follow me, okay? Um, and then of course on Instagram, like once you block a profile, they can't even find your profile unless they make another profile. And then you also have the option to block anyone that might be associated like to that profile. So I take all measures, right? And um since I've been very busy, on accident, I let some comments sit for some day for a couple days because I don't have always have the time to go in and be reading every single comment. Um, so I think I was waiting for a thumbnail for a video to load up. So I started scrolling through my Instagram and I was like, oh, okay, like let's see the comments. And one of the comments was like, what's wrong with your face? And it's like, okay. And then another comment was basically, um, it was under the thumbnail of the live, like we're kind of talking about new houses and so forth, and it was basically, saying that I'm spending my money frivolously, which I really didn't understand because I didn't, I don't think buying. Anyways, this person had a lot to say. So I said, okay, who is this person? Because you have to follow me on Instagram to be able to write all this crap. So I went to the profile, and I was the only non-celebrity that this person, faceless profile, of course, was following. And the account had just been created, and they were following like Ray Dunn. I mean, just a lot. I was the only non-celebrity, right? So obviously, this person made this account to write all of these wonderful things to me. Um, and it's like I was thinking, like, why? and so I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna even answer this person, and so like I just blocked them because like what else am I gonna do, right? Ooh, Illinois. Yeah, exactly. They made it just to troll, and then the thing is, though, is like what I don't understand is, I guess, the things that people write. I don't think they really. I don't know if they read it before they write it, or I don't know if they write it intention. I mean, they have to know what they're writing is just plain crazy. Um, for example, what came in, like what I read today was like, when I'm showing you all the perfume in that short that I made for Dollar Tree, someone wrote, like, I can't, I can't hear over your sideburns. Do you know how ridiculous those look? And I'm like, I had to reread it because I really it didn't register the first time. You know what I mean? Because I was like, this can't be really what I'm reading. And like in my head, I'm like, who writes this? Like who is gonna sit down and literally? But this is something you have to. I mean, it is non-stop, right? And this week has just been particularly ridiculous with like the comments. Um, all the way from I basically stole from the poor because of the stuff that I bought at Goodwill. I mean, like I don't have a right to buy that stuff from Goodwill because I'm not going to use it. Apparently this person is a fortune teller. Um, and I don't think this person understands that I don't choose to have sideburns. Like I was born with them. There's nothing I can do. Just like I can't change the color of my eyes. It's I can't do anything. And guess what? I don't want to do anything because I've grown my this has been my whole entire life has been with sideburns. Like I mean, sure, I could get them lasered off. I choose not to. So it's like, do you know how ridiculous you look? It's like you do realize that this is like genetics. You know, it is what it is. And it's just like stuff like that, and I just, a lot of people have been really coming at the channel with a lot of hate. And the only thing I can think of is that they're not happy because I'm happy. And that is really something like you sit back and think like, wow, there's people out there that really dislike me, that don't know me, and just judge me based upon my shop, like the shopping videos, the lives, the vlogs, and they have so much to say. But it's always, always behind a faceless profile. And it just, like sometimes like, you're just like, okay, like I know like this comes with the territory, like I know, but it does get old, and you're just kind of like, this stuff, does it, like, it's never gonna stop. You just have to realize, like, you know what? It's never gonna stop. It's always gonna be something, it's always gonna be this, that, and the other. And I have a right to walk into Goodwill just like anybody else and buy whatever I choose to buy. It's not like I stole it out of someone's cart, you know, or I mean, I don't get it. I mean, there's tons of people there that I know are gonna resell this stuff. They're literally, and I'm not like mad at them. They're literally taking pictures right then and there. I guess there's like an app where you can scan to see like how much the item goes for online. Like, I mean, I'm not, that's their business. I'm there to do my business, and that's to try and find like the best buys and be able to show it to you all. But apparently, I don't have that right. I'm just like, so in that aspect, it has been really, really weird. And also, like, people that I don't even recognize consistently asking me where I'm moving. Like, I think that is strange, you know, especially since I've made it very clear I'm not telling. Like, you'll know when I get there. You know, I mean, it's been very, I mean, if I wanted people to know, I would have said it, but I don't. But you will know when the time is right. And it's always like people I don't know at all, or you know, like asking, like, have you sold the condo, or just, I mean, just asking like really bizarre questions, you know, um, and that's odd too. And it's almost like you wonder. Okay, all right, here's something I want to talk about. 2 and 2 equals 4. Now I know some of you out there, 2 and 2 equals 5, but the reason why my nails are this length is because I like them, and I don't think it's very hard to understand that. Okay, so all of the insults about my nails, I like them. That's why they're this length. I don't care if you don't like them because they're not on your hands, and it does not affect your life in any shape, way, or form at all. And the nails, if you can't watch my clips because of my nails, then don't. I mean, honestly, it is ridiculous. If somebody has short nails, do you think I'm actually going to write on there, why do you have short nails? No, because I have common sense. They like them short. If someone has long nails, they like them long. Okay? It's common sense. And I'm not going to get rid of my nails. Why would I get rid of my nails? Are you going to come back and watch every video if I do? No, you're still going to be the same miserable person. You're not going to do any. You're not going to become like my best friend. You're not going to be like the best commenter. You're not going to. No, you're just. So the nails aren't going anywhere. I don't even know why, like, that's even an issue. And that is something that is just like, yeah. Okay, I think I've covered everyone's, like, some of the dumbest things I've had to read this week. All right. Yes. Okay. Um. All right. So I do want to apologize though, and what I want to apologize for is I realized that I have been posting half the amount of content that I usually do, and that's not really how, that was not like my plan in 2025 to be like, oh, you know what, I'm only going to be posting half of the amount of videos that I usually do. um However, because 2025 has been just so chaotic and so crazy, um unfortunately that's the way it has been. And when I am able to post 2 videos, you guys see how late they're coming up, right? Excuse me. And I want you guys to know that, I think I've said this before, if the videos come up at 9, that means I just loaded them up. That means I'm in some parking lot somewhere where I just finished the thumbnail, because I give you guys fresh content. Okay? I don't load up. I mean, you guys are seeing the content the day I film it, the day I'm filming it. And when you guys are literally seeing the content right after I come, well, I load up 2 videos at the same time. I don't load up like at 6 a.m. in the morning with yesterday's old news. You guys are getting fresh content. And I am literally pulling out of the parking lot and pressing release and press, you know, and then I post it into Instagram, and then I post it in our community tab. It's all fresh content. And, you know, like I didn't get home at till like almost, I didn't get home at 9, 8. Yesterday I got home early. I got home before 8 o'clock. So I'm doing my best to get onto 2 videos a day, because I've gone into my analytics and I'm seeing that I'm literally have been posting half of the amount of content I used to post. So that I apologize for. And I also apologize for loading up so late. And there's just sometimes that there's stuff that business wise, I have to do for the channel or that has to do with us moving. And I won't get out until like, I'm not done till like 2 p.m. or something. And that just puts me way behind schedule. So just bear with me and trust me, we're almost at the finish line. And like today, I didn't go out to film because we had to book our hotels, like all. This isn't, like, we have to drive to wherever we're going. Driving to Alaska is a long way, and we have to book four-legged friendly hotels all along the way. And depending on the hotel we're staying at, it's an extra 75 to 100 a night for Fancy. And Fancy's, we can't fly with Fancy. Number one, she's not going underneath the plane. And we're not going to be giving her any type of sedative. That's just off the table. So we're going to have to drive. And it's a long drive. So, I had to make all these hotel reservations and so forth. And by the time I got done doing that, it was already noon. So, this type of stuff I have to do for, it has to be done. Okay. And let me see, four-legged friendly. Yes. And they want to charge, for these igloos. So yeah, and we have to, and then also when you start putting the filters, it also filters down, like, it takes out certain hotels and so forth, and we need to find like which ones, like, for example, I really don't want a high-rise hotel for Fancy because let's say we get put, like on the 10th floor. It's just better. I think it's just better for everyone if Fancy's like, how do you say it? She can't be around other people in the same elevator. So a high-rise hotel is not really the most ideal situation for us with Fancy. So there's just all kinds of little things that I need to, go through and make decisions based upon her personality, and that's her personality. Um, and it is what it is, you know. Trust me, I want to be in bed half the time, and so it's just it's just a lot of like adulting stuff and a lot of stuff that I'm sure you guys understand because you've either moved or you've done a vacation across to Alaska and you've had to it takes time to drive, um, and so forth, and taking a 70-pound chow with you is like and of course hotels want to be compensated. And speaking about, it is exhausting, and but at the same time, we're very blessed to have this type of exhaustion. Like I don't, I know at the same time that we're blessed in 10 different directions, and that I'm very grateful for. And and again, it goes back to people just that I think what's hard for me is I don't understand. Okay, if there's people I don't like, but I certainly am not going to waste my time A, watching their videos, B, making stupid comments on their fake accounts, because it's just not. When would I have the time? Okay, and I don't have the desire because I believe in karma. Like I think what you put out there is what you're going to get back, and I just don't get it. and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it's going to get any better once we move. Unfortunately, and that is so, and like that's sad to say, like I think I don't think it's going to get better. You're right. Um, yes and no, if that makes sense. Hi, Royal Nana. Hi, Rosa. Yeah, I mean, I think making, it is, like I said, I mean, if you've been with me, you guys know that I've been talking about, can't wait till I get a house, can't wait till I get a house, and um, it's here, and we're making it a reality together, but there's things that, we have to plan for, and um, unfortunately, something like this, especially going across the country, there are so many variables that we're not in control of. Hi, Coco. Okay. I hope. Okay, I know you. Okay, you guys. Coco Diva is in the house. You guys. She has been going. She lost a loved one way too young. That's all I'm going to say. But I did ask for prayers in the other live, and then I did call you, and then I, of course, I understand why we couldn't touch base. But she is here now, so hello, Coco. And people did write that they know you've been with me for a really long time. You guys, Coco was like number 53 on the channel, like number friend 53. Okay, she has been with me since I've known Coco longer than I know my husband. Okay, she's been with me forever. She has not left the crazy train. And yeah, so I am so glad that you stopped in to say hello. I know you're busy and so forth. And call me when you can and we'll talk about anything you want, of course. And just know that I did try calling you. I might have tried calling you yesterday, but I understand what's going on and so forth. So don't worry about, of course, don't worry about me. You take care of your family and all of that. And you and I will talk when you're ready. So, but yes, I did talk to the channel and they know, not everything, because I don't tell you everything, because that's not, I don't tell anyone's anything. If you guys ask, if you come to me, whether it's a text message, whether it's an email, and you say you want the channel to pray for you, you can just write that. Or if you want to tell me, I'm still not going to tell the channel unless you tell me to tell the channel. Other than that, I will just get on and say so and so needs our prayers due to losing someone very young, and that's all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna spill the beans. So you, like I said, feel free to email me, and you don't have to tell me anything, but I will ask the channel for prayers. So, yeah. And yeah, call me when you can. Hello, Miss Jackson. How are you? Thank you, Miss Chungus. Yeah, that's something, because I know, like, I will never use someone's grief for views. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even, and the thing is, you guys know, like, I don't make a video about it. I talk about it in the live, and I just don't. And honestly, some people have said you can tell, and some people I know not not to tell. So, hi, Brittany. Um, oh, a very young family member passed, and someone that she was very close to, and that's, yeah. So she asked me for prayers, and I told Coco that I would ask the channel for prayers, and Coco and I will touch base when she's ready. So that Coco, and yeah, like I said, I've known Coco for a very long time, and we'll talk. All right, you guys, we have 438 people in the house, and we have 159. Hi, Brandy, how are you? 159. Coco, I call her Coco, but it's Coco Diva. Hi Brittany. Okay, we have 438 people now, so we have 160 thumbs up. Let's at least get to 200, you guys. Come on. Crystal, the haters are gonna. Yeah, I know. It's just that I think. Are you going to join TikTok? Um, yes, I did join TikTok. I just have not posted anything. I kind of just went on there just to kind of see some stuff. I don't know. I mean, I really don't. I really have not played with the app. I wish I did have time to play. All right, we're almost at 200. We have 182. Thank you, Randy. I wish I did have time to play. Hi, Roxanne, because I'm telling you, I don't even have time to kick my own self in the butt because I'm too tired. Ugh. Oh, Teresa, how are you? It has been a long moment since we have seen you. Welcome. Welcome. Hi, Mary. Um, so okay. Hi, Curious Cat. Hi, Mercedes. So I think one of the things too about hi, Gilda. Oh, I'm so sorry, Teresa. I hope everything is okay. And trust me, you know what? We got to find Vicky. And okay, let's talk about that. How is it that we have lurkers watching that knew that I wanted to talk to Vicky Patterson, and then they made a fake account, and I really thought I was talking to Vicky? Like, how sad is that? How sad is that, you guys? And I still, I mean, it's just, and it made, there's a lot of YouTubers that have 56,000 friends and they don't know their names or if they're missing, but I do because I care. And I mean, and I think how pathetically sad you're lurking. I mean, I know you're watching. And I start looking for Vicky and they made a fake account. And I felt so dumb talking to the fake account. And then the mods picked up that it was fake. And I just think how like how do you think, you know what, I'm gonna generate a fake account with this woman's name because I hate Crystal. It's sad. And then I was like, well, maybe I just won't look for people during the lives. But I was like, wait, why do I have to change my personality? Because there's sad people that are so lonely and miserable that they do that. Like, no, like, I mean, I do notice people that are missing, and you guys know, like, I'll be like, have you seen so, you know what I mean? It is sad. And I want, and so, yeah. Okay, so I was thinking, yeah, thank you. And I was like interacting with Vicky, be like, oh my gosh, Vicky, like, I'm so glad that you're okay because Vicky, has, it's true. I mean, and I do have to. So Vicky Patterson, the real Vicky Patterson, okay, she did email me, and she told me that the person spelled her name wrong and that she couldn't believe that that happened either. But, anyways, it's sad. It is very very sad that that's the type of stuff that we deal with. Yeah, because I think it comes like you really, I mean, especially doing lives and interacting, we get like a sense. I mean, I do have a sense. I mean, of course, I have a community and so forth. And I just think that it's important to, I mean, it's so important. And I couldn't come on here and just like, I mean, of course, I know who's who. I mean, we start saying hello to each other. You guys have side conversations. I'm always lost in my own live because I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? But I don't care because I love the fact that you guys are talking amongst each other. And that makes me happy, So it doesn't, I mean, I'm always lost in the live. But I like that you guys are forming that sense of community because that's what makes it so fun and special. And that's what makes me want to come live. And even before I started doing lives, there was all like, the comment section was always really cool. And now that I do, lives at least twice a week is my schedule, it's even better. And my chat stopped. All right, here we go. Um, Caroline does a great live, Yeah, I mean, I just, and like that was just like, I think that was something that really not hurt me, because that just gives someone power over me, and I don't give people power over me. I just think that I was like, I think that was the lowest thing that's ever that's happened. I mean, I don't care really what people call me, if you guys have noticed, I've gotten better in the lives about ignoring the garbage that, I mean, I don't even see it because the mods are so good. Um, and it's great for an introvert. Why are they wasting their time? They don't like, yeah, exactly. And so we have such great mods that they don't even I mean, I don't even really get a chance to read the garbage that's coming through. So that's good. All right. And let's get into a little bit of our haul. Um, we don't have like a big haul, but still wanted. Hi, Mercedes. How are you? Um, yeah, you guys. Yeah, Caroline's been doing some good lives. I love her topics, and um, I feel like 2025 has just been so crazy. Like I have not really been able to. I mean, there's stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk to that we need to talk about. All right, let's get into a little bit of our haul. All right, so as you guys know, I've been finding like some crazy stuff at. Thank you, Mercedes, for joining. Hit the thumbs up before you leave. I don't remember online celebrity or not. Exactly. Exactly. All right, you guys, I found the Profusion, and this is smoky eyeshadow, and it's a 5-piece set for $1.25. And it has the smoky eyeshadow palette, it has the black mascara, it has the Ioni liquid liner pen, and the retractable eyeliner pencil for $1.25. $1.25. I mean, and I also found it in the nude. So there's two out there, and this is Profusion, and these are $1.25, smoky and nude. And it comes in a cute package. It's perfect, perfect for like baby showers are coming up. Like the little games you play. I mean, and you can always watch. All right, these have been. Hold on, let me get. All right, I found the perfume, the Justice perfume that everyone's. Apparently, there's a pink one out there, so I just bought one. And it is such a pretty bottle, and it even has the little charm. And I thought that this would be like a fun, I mean, it's Justice, and it's a cute summer scent, and this is $1.25. See how pretty that is? So let's just say you have like, I mean, school's coming to an end, and if you have like a preteen or a tween, let them have some fun. Let them play with, like, maybe you want to get the nude makeup for them and let them have some fun. It's $1.25. This is $2.50 plus whatever the tax is in your state. Okay, now I don't know how much this sells for retail. I know this is 12 like 72 on the Walmart app, and that's being sold by Walmart. Oh, thank you. I know there's a lot of nuts. Ugh. And Let me see. Actually, I haven't smelled it. Because when I walked in, I didn't know I was going to find the perfume, and I had just sprayed uh, Devotion on. It's a very clean scent. It's very subtle. You know what? It's perfect if you don't like a heavy scent. If you don't like a heavy scent, I would say go with this. Now, somebody told me there's a pink one out there. And so that would be a good deal too. So again, I think these would be great for just like affordable gifts if you're going to be doing like when you go like to a bridal shower, you guys play games. And again, because this is only $1.25, you could always pair it up with something like a little bit more expensive, something like that. Or, I mean, what's so great about these is it can go from adult to like a tween. It's like if your 13-year-old's going to have a slumber party, throw a whole bunch of these at the kids and let them have fun. And this will keep them preoccupied, putting on makeup, this, that, and the other. So it's just all just like little ideas I like to throw out at you guys. All right, save my receipt. And then I did go to Burlington, but the only thing I bought from there was I just needed some more chanclas, and I like these by DKNY. I thought these were cute, like with the leopard. I don't know if you guys can see. It has like a little. It's just, I know you guys can't see that. It's just like DKNY. It has like a little black bow, and I like the leopard. And $8.99 DKNY. Just some chanclas. Hi, first and last. How are you? And so just some fun. I needed some shankles. What can I say? All right. Let's see. I still haven't used this, you guys. I gotta wash this. I want to use this so bad. I know. I love leopard. Yeah, the flip flop. I know. I can't wait to wear the flip flops. I need to try on my Juicy Couture. What is it called? Monokini. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about this because this was eye opening. Well, first let's get through the haul. All right. So this is the stuff that apparently I wasn't allowed to buy. But I did anyways. Okay. So remember I told you how we're only buying like one candle at a time? All right. So I found this Bath and Body candle. It has not been used. It's just missing the top. In one of my favorite scents, Twisted Peppermint, for $3.99 from Goodwill. I don't care. I mean, for $3.99, it's Bath and Body, and I like Twisted Peppermint. So it has not been used. Brand new. Brand new, brand new. So I picked that up at Goodwill. Not bad. All right. Let me put this down. Let me see. Am I stuck again? No. Yes. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not trying to buy like a whole bunch of candles right now because we won't use them. So yeah, all right. So now this is where like I really hope in Alaska they have good Goodwills because I know where the good Goodwills are in Orange County. And I know because I went to a whole bunch of them and then I narrowed it down. All right. You guys are not going to believe this. Hold on. Look, I got brand new Nordic wear for when we do Vlogmas. Look, it's Nordic wear, brand new, $5.99. Look at. Yes, tell me that is not good. So, yep. Hi, Deanna. How are you? So, this is a good deal, and I thought, how fun for Vlogmas. You know? Yep. Perfect, right? Thank you, Lisa. Exactly. Muffins. Just, yeah, I mean, like, we'll just have some fun. All right. And then I found for Halloween, and this is from Williams Sonoma, and it has for the it has the pumpkin, the acorn. The acorn. Yes, acorn, and the apple. And look. And this is the autumn mini pie molds, and this was $7.99. And it was originally, I think, it was $19.99. Hi, Mark. We're just going over what we got at Goodwill, because not everyone saw it. And so I thought that was great, you know, and we're going to have a good time. Mark's here, you guys. I know. Hi, Aura. Yeah. And so everything is, I made sure it was all here. And then it even has like the instructions on how to use it. And I was like, seriously, Williams Sonoma? Like, yeah. So, and that's going to be great for Halloween, you know? So we have that. And then, I mean, I don't, every time I go to that Goodwill, I always find good stuff. All right, this is now going for $49.99 at Williams Sonoma. And this is from Williams Sonoma. And it also gives me the recipe. And this was $29 back in the day. Now it's $49.99. And I bought it at Goodwill for $4.99. And let me see, does it say Williams Sonoma here? No, but it says it right there on the, you can see it on the price tag. So, yeah. So for under, I think, okay, so this was 5, this was 8, so that's 13. And then this was 6, that's 18. And then my candle was 4, so that was $22 plus tax for fantastic baking ware. So I think we got a really good deal. And I mean, I'm seriously cannot believe that we found Nordic Ware brand new. That is like amazing. So yeah, I mean, it's so awesome. Good night, Carmen. All right, and then, okay, you guys do not underestimate Home Goods. Look, these plates are from Sur La Table. And I know I'm saying that wrong. Okay, look at $29.99. And I found these at Goodwill. Now, Home Goods. Home Goods. Yes. And so, yes. Tell me that is not awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I'm like, and it's perfect, to get us started. Absolutely perfect, and $29.99. Yeah, so this is, I'm gonna tape it and all that stuff. And this was the last one. Well, okay, watch the Home Goods shop with me, okay? Because there's all kinds of, I mean, you guys, oh my gosh, okay. And I thought of you all, and I mean, I found the old school like Tupperware pitcher. Watch the video, you guys. I mean, you really have. There's a lot of good stuff. And watch after like I show these, you're gonna see a whole. Never mind. I don't want to say it. Okay. They're there. There's two different sets. There's the white ones. This was the last of the white, and then there's another set that has like the black edging, but they're both $29.99. So yeah, I mean, tell me that's not at Home Goods. So you just really have to look like high and low, because I'm telling you, if I wasn't okay, let me hold on. Okay, so I think, so all right, so as you've seen me go through like Home Goods and even the thumbnail, you can see like I'm starting to look at lamps, furniture. Like I really liked that blue table. That blue table that's in the thumbnail. I was like, that would be fun. Because, and also culinary items. Because I mean, we literally are going to need everything from sheets to towels to bath rugs. I mean, everything, right? And so it is like, you got the finials, Christy. Congratulations, because those finials are hard to come by. So congratulations. That's a good find. We're literally in need of everything, and so far, Jamie, so far, yes. I mean, I was like, okay, I wish I could tell you, but I can't. So we're moving. That's really all I can say. So, but the thing is, I was like, we're literally, I mean, we need everything. Bath rugs, Accoyer mats for, I mean, we're going to need, pool furniture, patio furniture. We need, pool toys for me, because I'm a big kid, I need something to lay around and float on. I mean, we're literally going to need everything you possibly think of. We're going to need tumbler, we're going to need glasses, everything. And yes, I know. I think that is like, yeah, I'm so excited. I think like having our own pool is just gonna be like, that is something that I am one of my biggest. I can't wait to be floating around in my own pool. And don't worry, I'll go live by the pool. We can hang out and so forth. But yeah, that is definitely going to be fun. And so, there's just like, I mean, and everything starts to quickly add up, because we're going to go from this small condo, which grateful to have had a roof over our head for the past 8 years. Oh my God, you guys, I am like when I really start thinking, and I'm like, I just start getting like, OMG. I mean, it's gonna be I it's gonna be we're going into a way bigger home, and I mean, obviously, we're not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to furnish everything at once. We have to pick out what's important, and a fridge and a washer and dryer. That's that's important, right? And okay, what did Mark say? Is he going to start drinking to now? When is he going to start drinking to? I got what? Ooh, that's all right, Mark. Fighting the pole. Ah, yes, exactly. With oh my gosh, okay, you guys, funny story, funny story. I do want a giant unicorn flout. I am going to be that dork. Okay, funny story. So Adam texts me, right? Thank you. See, people are happy. Hi, Mr. Chungus. See, people are happy. And see, that's what I like. You guys are genuinely happy. The haters are so pissed off because they actually didn't think I was moving. It's just like, um, so, okay. So Adam sends me a text, and he won't mind me telling the story. And he's like, you know, he's like, um, okay, my husband and I want to know, are you really moving to Alaska? And I was like, no, it's a joke, right? And he's like, so my husband was right because he said there's no way the Queen's moving to Alaska, right? And I was like, no, I'm not moving to Alaska. Like, what am I, And so yeah, and he was like, um, he's like, yeah, he's like, my husband's like, there's no way she's, gonna be going to Alaska, it's not gonna go there, and so, and it was funny because Adam was like, he was trying to narrow it down, and I kept sending him like smiley faces, and so forth. And it was just like, it was hilarious because I was like, no, it's just, it's become kind of like a running joke, that I'm moving to Alaska because that way, we just kind of like still, we're not telling and so forth, but yet, although it's getting closer, but um, I just thought that was hilarious, and Adam's the sweetest, he really, really is. Um, I will tell you one thing. I know he really does watch me because when he moved into his new home, he sent me a picture, and they had just put up like their just put up their television, their flat screen, and he was watching. Like he was like on the YouTube, um, on the flat screen, and I could see like it's where it says like the channels you watch. Like my name was right there, the Queen. And then he even made like a reel. They were like unpacking their kitchen, and you can see my video on the flat screen playing. And so I mean, he is such a great guy. He is so sweet. But yeah, so that was pretty wild. But I am excited because we are gonna be spending like 3 days um in just to see my parents. So I'm gonna have time with my parents before we skedaddle. And that was like one of the things that we were doing. And so yeah, igloo time. So that was one of the things that we were doing. And so I'm excited to I'm excited, but at the same time, I think it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But my mom told me that they will come out to Alaska to see us, so that's good. You know, and yeah, it's going to be hard. And Fancy, of course, is going with us. We're excited too, and it's going to take us like It's gonna take us we have a long road trip, okay? A long one. But we're gonna make it into a vacation. And we're gonna take our time. And we're just things things are moving really, really fast. And I know it doesn't seem like it 'cause you guys see me sitting in the same kitchen and you guys are like, what's moving fast? Um, but it's just so weird to think, fingers crossed, God willing, next month at this time, we should be in a different kitchen. And this year has flown by. And I just think it's just like I feel like we've just ever since September, when when all that stuff happened, that it just we just haven't stopped, and it feels like we're just on some type of like roller coaster that just doesn't seem to stop, and um, it's almost like I haven't even had time to realize that it's 2025, let alone that I'm going into May already. Um, and this is no longer like really our home anymore, and that's weird. Um, it's just like the countdown's begun, and I think I'm going. I mean, I am sad because this has been my home for 8 years, and I am worried about Fancy, and I know a lot of people are like, she's just a dog. No, I mean, I am worried about her because, I was thinking like, this is the only home she's known, and we've had Fancy since January of 2021. We adopted her, and this is all she's ever known. And then we're gonna take her on an extensive road trip, and every day, every night, we're gonna be in a different hotel in a different state until we get to our destination. And it's gonna be hard on all of us because like we're not really gonna be able to go out to eat because we can't leave her alone in the hotel. Um, and then she's gonna have to get adjusted to a whole, to like acclimate to a whole different, entirely different home. So, and I know how long it took her to adjust to the Airbnb, and she was kind of whack. I mean, she was odd for like about 2 weeks. So I can only imagine what like this road trip's gonna do to her. I hope so. I hope so because I mean, like, we really are not. I mean, not that like. I mean, not that like we're always fine wining and dining, but I mean, there are going to be some stops where it would be cool to, have a nice dinner. But that's just not, like we'll have time for that another time. This really isn't like. I mean, it is a vacation. Just it is what it is, right? I mean, I don't think I've ever even taken this long. I know for a fact I've never taken this long of a road trip. And while we were booking the hotels, we were just like, geez, I mean, this is like, I mean, okay, so there's something I want to talk to you guys about. And okay, so before we went out to look at houses, remember I told you that like we were kind of we had just like we were really almost out of hope. And we were like, okay, well, we know we want to live in Alaska, but until we find our home, because at this time we didn't we didn't know, we're going to have to probably rent an apartment for like 3 months. And then that was like the most, that was like the worst. And we were just like so torn up inside about that because, you know, we were like trying to get on it immediately because it takes time, because to go to an Airbnb, like we're not going to be paying, 4,000 a month to stay at an Airbnb. It's just we're not. And so we are like, okay, so we started, I started Googling and like looking up apartments, ones that are pet friendly and, had a pool and had, air conditioning and so forth. And so basically, like what they wanted for rent for a place smaller than this, okay, was fine. But once we told them that we just wanted it for 3 months and we also had fancy, like all of a sudden we were going from like, 1100 to like 14, 1500, right? And we were like, and not only that, they wanted a $500 deposit for fancy alone, non-refundable. Plus, they wanted to tack on, like we'd have to pay extra money for her a month. And they wanted, and this was the most bizarrest thing, they wanted us to fill out, like, okay, I get it, they want to know what type of dog she is, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, they wanted like, it was like 100 questions, and they wanted pictures of her, right? And for every adult in the apartment to apply would be $65, right? And we're just like, you know, we're like, God, I mean, like, what do you, like, we don't have a house. We have to go through all of this just to hopefully have a roof over our head so that we can still continue to look for housing. And that was so hard. And and at first we were like, oh, like 1,000 a month for, something about this size or a little bit smaller. All right, like we can do that, like for 3 months. And then, then they just started tag. I mean, they, as soon like the short leases, one place we were already up to 1,600, and again, and also a lot of them consider her breed to be aggressive. And so they didn't want to take us. It's just, I mean, and we were just like, how do regular folks like ourselves, how do you get an apartment? I mean, and, you want $65 for every adult just to apply. Like, I don't even know that you're going to look at it. It is hard. I mean, it is harder when you have a bigger dog because a lot of them, like, the cutoff weight is 30 pounds. Now, I don't think we can get away with saying that Fancy's 30 pounds. We can't, And also, like, another thing, too, that I noticed is that they wouldn't give us a list of what they deemed aggressive dogs. So, just, we Googled, like, like, what would they consider aggressive dogs? And unfortunately, she falls into that category. And so we were just like, that piled upon at that time, not knowing anything about like the house, it was just becoming like, I just was like, I think we were just both devastated. Not devastated, like, oh, we don't know what to do because we're so dumb, but just, like, are we really going to have to like convince someone? I mean, that like we're responsible renters. I mean, for God's sakes, this is a mortgage here, you know? I mean, please, you know, it's like we just need somewhere temporary. But luckily that didn't happen. But my whole, I guess I was just so surprised. And I'm like, how do regular folks, is this what they have to go through? Like, how much money do you have to put aside just to apply? You know, just to put an application in? That's ridiculous. That'd be $130 if you're a married couple trying to find a place to live. You know? Yeah. Oh, no garage. No garage. And we're like, that's not cool. You know? Like, oh, and then I mean, just like no garage. Like, what do you? Yeah, I mean, we were just like, Fancy has once we found out her little, you know, idiosyncrasies. Now we know what perturbs her and what she's okay with. And I think one of you made a very good point. You guys said that someone probably put a shock collar on her, which is why she doesn't like that beeping noise. And um, that is the only time we ever had an issue of her damaging anything. But we didn't know that. And but now we do know that. So we make sure, you know, we do our best to make sure that she doesn't have to hear that noise. Um, yeah, yeah, we didn't. I mean, I don't know anything about shot callers, but I was, you know, someone in the live said that I guess that's like the warning noise, or I don't know, but whatever happened in her previous life before us, you know, like when like the microwave makes that beeping noise, or when you leave the fridge open too long, that noise cannot go on longer than like 15 seconds before she is just going berserk. So we're always very, very, you know, aware of that. Um, yeah, and you know, and and then I just started thinking, you know, that how unfair is it to so many people that are trying to get an apartment in the three-bedroom apartments? Forget it. I was like, that's a mortgage payment right there. That is a mortgage payment right there. That is crazy to be charging that for a three-bedroom apartment. You know, and I'm just like, I was stunned at what like the hoops that they wanted us to jump through just for, you know, something that we're already living in. It's smaller, to be honest with you. You know, it's just so sad. It's like, um, it made me realize that I need to be more grateful for for all the good things that are happening, because I can't imagine how hard it is for families right now, like trying to buy a home if they're having to pay that much, you know, in rent on top of, you know, just life and groceries and stuff. It's just it was a really it was an eye opener. It really really was. It is rough out there. No, I mean, trust me. Like, okay, before I met my husband, I had a roommate, and um, I think here in California, if you want to have a roommate in a decent, like, you know, share like a townhouse or even a two-bedroom apartment or a condo. I shared a townhouse with my roommate. Um, and I mean, I remember, and this was in 2016. I remember reading rooms for rent, okay, that were 1200, 1200. And if you want like to, and this isn't even like the whole house. we're talking like maybe you have like a half bathroom, 1,200. I mean, it is so out of control. I mean, right now, like let's say, I mean, hypothetically, if I was still had to like rent a room or share a place with a person, I mean, it would be an insane amount to live like, in a safe place and so forth. And if you start reading like what people want, I didn't even see it. I didn't see it. I don't even know what it, all right, now what's going on? Team Punch. Okay, I don't know what. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I am lost in my own chat. Um, Good night, Karen. Thank you. All right, thank you. Okay, I don't know what. I now you guys have me like wondering because I know people think like I know. I mean, I just I can't. Oh my god. We had someone write like, "Oh, you're not moving because you can't get a loan," and it's like, what? I mean, this the stuff that goes through that people, you know what I mean? I will never understand the stuff. All right. So what I was saying is just like I feel bad. Like it's just it is really bad. And people renting, they don't even want you there. They don't even want you there. Like some of the people write, you have to be gone between like these hours. Oh, so basically you want, you know, my money, but I can't be there. You know what I mean? Just like really weird stuff. And so I'm just like so glad that like I mean I feel bad for people because there are people, that life happens and it would just be so much nicer. I know these words are so used, overused, if we lived in a kinder world, and I don't know. And also, I'm really tired of saying excuse me. And not because I'm mean, but because people are. You guys, I am seriously. Dollar Tree. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm serious. They literally have where like they don't want you home between certain hours. And I was just like, wow. Or they don't want, and I don't even think you can write this anymore because this like was 2016 if you're on disability. But you can't write anymore, which I mean, I don't think that's legal at all, but I'm telling you, I mean, the rules. Hi, mom and fan son. Okay, no, okay. I am getting to the point where I don't want to say excuse me anymore. I am, I am tired of the sideways glance. Like, you know, I just like I just insulted their youngest child or something. You know what I mean? What like excuse me, like I say excuse me because that's how I was raised. And also like what is up with younger people? Like I hold the door open for like the elderly couple or the elderly lady because that's what you do as a decent human being. And you got these like young men that should be at work, but that's a whole different story. Since you can't open the door for this woman or even me, like they just let it slam in my face, and you're just like, I mean, it is something else. There is no respect. I mean, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I will wait for the little old lady with the walker, and I will stand there, and all these people will go in, and it's like I'm not holding it open for you. I'm waiting for that lady right there that needs the door held for her. And all these young guys are passing me by, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'm the door woman. But it's like, I'm not holding it open for them. Because I know those guys, they're not going to open it up for her, or the mom that's got like, the stroller. And it's just, and part of me wants to be just barrel down the aisles, and not say, excuse me. But I can't because, okay, the most places I get recognized: Home Goods, Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree, not so much anymore, but Home Goods. And Home Goods is where I have the biggest problem because these viejas, they don't want to move, okay? You don't want to move. No, you want to play games and you want to eyeball me, okay? And then you want to act like I'm disrupting your whole life by saying, excuse me, okay? And I am not, like, I am so done playing. And they would rather hurt themselves, cut themselves before they will say, excuse me, to you. I mean, they would rather fall, trip, break the merchandise, because heaven forbid you say those two words, excuse me. And the only people that get a hall pass are the elderly. I don't care. Like, Abuelita can take her time. I don't care. You move slow, Abuelita, you do you. Because one day that's going to be me. And, but people my age and younger, like, don't be eye hustling me. You don't, because I can give it good, just as good as you're giving it, okay? And I am not any, I mean, I will not lay hands on anyone because that's not my style. But I'm tired of being pushed around. People mistaken your kindness for weakness and they will walk right over you if you allow them to. And it's like, I don't like that feeling. Like, I just want to be nice. I just want to smile and say, excuse me, and just, you know? Yeah, exactly. And it's like my parents raised me the same way. They raised me, yes, please, thank you, excuse me, you know what I mean? Just common courtesy. I mean, every time, like after my birthday parties, my mom made me sit down and write thank you notes, you know? Um, Another thing too, like for Mother's Day, for like my grandmother or like birthday cards and stuff, like we couldn't just say dear grandma and sign our name. No, we had to write a novel, like even to this day, like for a card for like my parents, I gotta sit there and write a novel on the side. You know, they always told me, show that you care, show that you put some time and effort. You know, anyone can just sign their name. So like stuff like that. And but it just irks me. It just irks me that people, they don't have respect for the elderly. You know, and that really really bothers me. That bugs me. Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, yeah, they don't send, yeah. It's like, what about the thank you cards? Like, what happened to that? I mean, at least in a thank you email, you can mass email it, you know? That can't be that hard. Yeah. It is like, I mean, I just think common courtesy goes such a long way. Good night. Oh, how many countries are there in the U? That doesn't even make any sense because England's England. United Kingdom's United King. Never mind. I'm not even. Um. So yeah, part of me just wants to like be like that, but I can't, because I wouldn't ever want someone that was like gonna come up and say hello to me, and then be like, "Oh my God, how mean the queen is." So it's like just better for me to just say excuse me and just smile and just, I mean, but the way some of these women look at me, oh my God. It is so hard to like just always swallow it. You know what I mean? Because you're just like, I want, it's like, what do you just suck on a lemon? Like why are you, I don't get it. I don't understand people. Sad but true. You're so right about the. I trust me. Trust me. You don't even know. And like, they're like, I mean, it's like I don't know. I mean, it's like I'm sorry for existing. I don't know. You know, I'm just like, so that, yeah, that, and that's hard. Not so much at like Hobby Lobby, 'cause Hobby Lobby is like big, and you can like, you can pretty much be in an aisle all by yourself, but Home Goods, that place is wild. And Dollar Tree. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Okay. I was at Aldi, and I was at Aldi in Pico Rivera. Okay. And I noticed that there was this girl, well, she was a woman. I'd say late 20s, right? And I noticed that, you know, she wanted to look at some stuff that I was in front of, right? So so I said, do you want to look at this? And and the reason why I was asking her that is because I was gonna. I mean, okay. First off, the way she answered me, it was like it's a good thing Crystal's not 25 right now because her and I would have been rolling around the aisles. Okay. Um, because she's like, yeah, do you have a problem with that? I mean, in my face, okay? And I looked at her and I said, actually, I was going to be polite and I was going to move back, like step away so that you could get into that area and you could look at whatever you would like to look at. I said, so if you would like, so would you like me to move? Because that's what I was offering. And then her face changed so quick. Like she was shocked that I didn't like come back at her, And I was like, I wanted to ask her, what has never like no one's been kind to you before, like, I mean, it's just her face was like in complete shock. But no, I just looked at her and said, I was trying to be polite, if you want, go ahead, I mean, and she was like, no, it's okay. And it's like, okay, lady, I don't know what your deal is. I don't know if you're having a bad day or what, but like I am, like I was just trying to be nice. And I mean, it's just like you're just kind of like, whoa, like you try and be nice and people will, I mean, she was literally was like ready to hit me. And I was, yeah, I mean, she felt stupid. I mean, her whole face, I mean, her jaw dropped. I mean, and it was kind of funny because it was like, I mean, I don't know if she thought I was white or what, okay? Because I'm like, but I mean, like I said, good thing Crystal was not 25 because her and I would have been rolling around the aisle, okay? Because I was like, girl, you were like, I don't know if you'd be fighting with your neighbors or if you just wake up mad or, I don't know what's going on with you. But it's like no one had ever been nice to her or polite, It's called being polite. It's called thinking of other people, Like I'm not gonna sit here and hog up you know, very bizarre. I'm gonna tell you guys one story and then I'm off. Okay, so my cousin and I were a bad combo. Okay, and we went. Our friend had just graduated from UC Irvine, and so we were like partying like hard, right? And we went to this club, and then me being super classy, I decided I used to smoke back in the day, and so I decided I was wearing like a low cut. I was just for the club, okay. So I had my ID and like my debit card and my smokes and my lighter. And I put it in between the girls. Like I said, I was real classy back in the day, okay? And so it's like, of course, we were buying our friend drinks. So we're standing there, like, at the bar. And, right? And this girl from across the bar was talking about me, about the fact, because I was like leaning over ordering drinks. So you could see that I had, like, the cigarette box there, right? So my cousin is like, she's like 5'11". So when she had like her heels on, she'd be like over 6 feet tall. And when I have high heels on, I'm like 5'11", right? So she was like, oh, oh, hell no. Mind you, she's like a principal now. So we've grown up, but this is back in the day, okay? So she's like, oh, hell no. She points right at her. And the girl gets, now this is across the bar, okay? Like, so the girl gets smart. And she makes this face and is like, because mind you, the club's crowded, okay? And I was like, no, she, I was like, oh no. She didn't know, Crystal. I hopped over the bar so fast and I made it to her side before she could even turn around. Okay? And of course, having good backup, my cousin was right behind me. Okay? And we're talking like, the big bars, like, okay? Well, needless to say, we didn't get all that far because security carried us out. Security carried us out, and I was pissed. I was like, I paid for those drinks, and I want to drink them. And there's no drinks for you, but I paid for it. You know what I mean? And brave. She thought, because she didn't think, like I said, crowded. Okay? So she thought by the time we made it through, she could get lost in the crowd. But she didn't know Crazy Crystal. No. Think I'm going to give you time to get away? No, I'm going to hop over the bar. And then hop over the middle of the island, like where they have all the alcohol and the glasses. And then I'm going to be your bartender. That's how that's going to play out. And my 6-foot cousin is right behind me. That's how that plays out. But it didn't quite play out that way. I mean, yeah, I was her bartender, but we got carried out. So that was Crystal in her young partying club days. Now I smile and go, no, I was going to let you look. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You don't even know. Yeah. I mean, all right. Another really quick story, and I promise I'll let you go. Okay. We were in, I want to say like the Palos Verdes area. And okay, at this time things were a little bit different, okay? So I've always had like a 4Runner. So my cousin and I, this is the same cousin, okay? This is why my cousin and I cannot go out together. Well, we wouldn't be like that now, okay? But we had the windows rolled down in this Jetta of, I'm just going to say sorority girls, okay? Blonde sorority girls. Jetta seats 5, okay? So they pull up next to us, and my cousin and I, we're like minding our own business, right? Okay? And the Jetta was going to make a left, but we were going to go straight, but we were still side by side, right? Well, they decided that they were going to call, how do I say this? Because this is YouTube. But they were going to mention the fact that we're not this color. Okay? And that we're this color. Now, at this time, we were a little bit older, like probably our late 20s, and my cousin was a teacher, and I was an office manager. And we thought, like it'd been a while since we've jumped over bars. We looked at each other, and we were like, what the, right? And they were laughing. Okay. So, what these little chicas didn't realize is you're in a Jetta with 4 cylinders. Crystal is driving a V6 engine SUV that has no problem going over an island. So they took off laughing and pointing. And my cousin and I looked at each other. Mind you, she's a teacher, and I'm an office manager. And we were like, hell no. I went over the island, okay? And again, they speeded up. Well, so did I. But I have a V6 under the hood, and she's fast. My 4Runner right now is fast. This one was faster. So, I pull up right next to them. I mean, I caught up to them in no time, right? And all of a sudden, again, no one's brave anymore. All of a sudden, the laughing has stopped. All of a sudden, it was a joke. All of a sudden, we're sorry. All of a sudden, I mean, you should have seen because I came up behind them. I mean, I was right behind them. And then I'm like, and my cousin was like, pull to the side of them. She's like, I want to tell them this. And I was like, okay. And then I'm going to pull to the side, and then I'm going to tell them, right? So you should have seen their faces, because they turned around and they were like in shock that it was us behind them, right? And mind you, it's 5 and we're 2. So all of a sudden, apologies start flying left and right. I mean, it was like, and I don't think we would have done anything had it not been because you know what I mean? If it just would have been like something stupid, we would have just been like, stupid. But that just like, I mean, like I said, things were different back then, and they're probably a bunch of Karens now. I don't know. But anyways, those are Crystal stories. And then, but after her and I looked at each other, and we're like, what's wrong with us? We're like, you're a teacher. I'm an office manager. Like, we're like, what happened that we like just let this like, like that we chased down this Jetta, instead of just moving on, yeah, they probably are. They're probably a bunch of miserable Karens, But yeah, I think because her and I were just like, first, I mean, we were dumbfounded. I mean, first it was kind of like, have you ever been told something where you literally have to like, it almost takes a moment to register? That's, I think, what it was. We couldn't really understand. Karens and Darrens beware. Yeah, and we were just like, I mean, I'm telling you, but so yeah. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I got a lot of stories, but we'll have to save those for another time. But yeah. So yeah, my cousin and I are not exactly like we've got, yeah, we had some like, I mean, you do stuff when you're young. I mean, I would still be offended today if someone, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You do things when you're younger, we were like in our late 20s. We were kind of disappointed. I think we were disappointed in ourselves because we let them get to us, you know? Yeah. Okay, who wrote what? Yeah, I have, yeah, exactly. Like life, trust me, I don't even know how I remember these stories, but like, I guess when we start talking and stuff, I just like all these stories start, I'm like, oh yeah, and then this happened. It was all because of the excuse me stuff. And I'm like, if you only knew who I was back in the day, okay? All right, you guys, I'm gonna let you go. But trust me, I have a lot of crazy stories. A lot of crazy stuff happened. But we'll save those for another time. Um so all right, my friends. Thank you so much. Let's thank the mods, you guys. Let's say thank you to the moderators, you guys. I went for an hour and 42 minutes. Let's thank the mods. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I know these lives are crazy. We never know where what's gonna come, where they're gonna go. All right, my friends. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone. See you guys all soon.